We have crossed London at a breakneck speed. We could have knocked someone over, and naturally I had to pay the cabbie out of my own pocket.
Watson, stop
You're in
complaining.
a bad mood
We have
today.
to analyze the clues found
Nothing's
at the bishop's
changed.
house.
Okay. Victoria Regina. Alright, well, let's analyze some stuff. Analyze the clues. Let's look at the thumb, because it's the grossest one. Pincers. Scalpel. Water.
I can't do that.
Why not? It's dirty. Well, okay.
Tooth marks, rather deep ones. I'd say of incisors and a canine.
Did he bite off his own finger, too?
Fragments of skin, a phalanx. This finger wasn't cut off, it was ripped off.
Okay.
I can see something.
What? What can you see? Legolas! What do your elf eyes see?
I can see something.
Where? But how do we zoom in?
I
Acid!
can't
Pincers?
Black and damp earth
Ah.
under the nail.
Interessant.
I can see something.
Still? Ah,
Bite
okay.
marks
We just
on
needed to
this
pick it up.
severed finger.
With our...
I'm afraid
Well.
of the significance.
The thieves didn't get what they wanted. When they were faced with the bishop's refusal to cooperate, one of the gang shook his finger at him to indicate that he was responsible.
That's
for his
awesome. This
unfortunate
bishop
state.
is a
And the
bouse.
poor man, whose head was the only part of him not bound by ropes, bit the finger violently enough to sever it. An uncommonly savage act.
Watson, I am certain that when we have explained the reasons behind this sudden bestiality, we will have revealed a larger part of the mystery.
Alright. Let's look at
There is
some
something
other
written
things.
on this scalpel. I should clean it.
With water?
No, I can't do that.
What?
No, I can't do that.
You... With acid?
No, I can't do that.
With a brush?
I can make out WCCH. What do the initials stand for? How many hospitals are there in the Whitechapel area, Watson?
If we count public dispensaries, enough to keep us busy for an entire month. Did this scalpel come from a hospital?
Yes, as the
Murder.
initials WCCH engraved upon it show us. We must think on how best to deal with this. We do not have the time to investigate every hospital in Whitechapel. I have cut a small piece off the rope. That should be enough.
Okay.
This rope is only worn on one side. I need something.
A brush.
No, I can't do that. A lot of fragments of black stone are wedged into this rope. Their color seems unnatural, but they are too small for me to examine them. Black and
about-
damp earth.
More a dat.
I must compare the samples of earth that I found.
Samples.
This fragment of stone is
Alright,
very
let's look at you.
smooth, and it seems to be of a peculiar quality. I shall have to strip it with one of my products.
Acid!
This stone,
Yeah. Oh, dang
I
it.
can see something. I can see something.
Oh, guys, I got too excited. I'm sorry.
This stone is granite, covered in black paint.
What?
The fragments found in the rope and this piece of granite come from the same place. I
Well
must
then.
compare the samples of earth that I found. And if I mixed this earth with another substance, now it must all be stirred.
With a scalpel? Yeah.
The samples of earth taken from beneath the fingernail and from the ropes originate from the same place.
How do you know?
It took just a little water to analyze the consistency. The soil has retained its moisture, even though there hasn't been rain in London for over a week.
Unheard
This
of.
soil could come from the bank of a river, or somewhere where the evaporation is slower. A mine, perhaps, or a trench.
The banks of the Thames are
Wherever
clay
those
soil,
workers are from.
unlike our samples, so we can rule that out. The nearest mines are 12 miles away, so I would rule that out also. I would therefore conclude your last theory to be nearer the mark.
His teeth
A trench?
freak me out a little.
A pit. Watson, bring me your register of the London hospitals.
Studying the scalpel has given you an idea, then?
Indeed.
I'll get it.
You control Dr. Weirton. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, am I leaving? Aw, wait. Let me go in our rooms. I like going in our rooms. I want to see if they're any different from before. Is this my room? It looks kind of like my room from the other games.
Here is where I write my stories about Holmes's cases. And I've got work to do.
I just want to look around the room. Just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Okay. Now we're gonna break into Holmes's room. It's not a big deal. He totally won't mind.
And this is how my dear friend and colleague treats his clients' letters.
Lol.
Hospitals and dispensaries in London. I have found my book, Holmes.
Good. Put it on the work table, will you?
What about...
The harpoon that was used to kill Black Peter. A horrible murder.
I love that he just has it on the wall. Because why not, you know?
General practitioner. That won't be of any use to me.
I just... there's too much blue. I just need
Female
to look at all of them.
anatomy. I should put this book somewhere else.
Like in my room. Ha 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 ha. At the moment of writing these lines, the famous Samoan necklace belonging to the Marquess of Conyngham has still not been recovered. Our editorial staff remain reserved as to the role that the famous detective Sherlock Holmes has played in the affair. For this is not the first time that Mr. Holmes has compromised himself during the course of one of his so-called investigations. When recalling the second stain case, the affair is indeed strangely similar to the Marquess of Coningham's necklace misfortune. Indeed, Mr. Trelawney Hope, Secretary of State for European Affairs, had a document of extreme value in his safe box, which had been stolen but a few days earlier. Who, if not Sherlock Holmes, could have replaced the document in Mr. Hope's safe? What was the point of the trick? It was evident that Sherlock Holmes knew the identity of the person blackmailing the gentleman's wife, Lady Hilda Trelawney Hope, guilty of a love affair with another man. The sinister blackmailer, a certain Lucas, had a letter that revealed Lady Trelawney Hope's double life. He wanted the Secretary of State's wife to give him the precious document belonging to her husband. In exchange for the love letter, she obeyed him. But then, Lucas was found murdered, and Mr. Holmes managed to find the compromising letter without any difficulty, on the crime scene, after it had been meticulously searched by the police. Does that not strike you as strange? Mr. Holmes knew where the hiding place was without any doubt. As to the motive for the murder, no need to ask who might profit from the crime, eradicate a cumbersome accomplice, and thus appear as a hero in the eyes of the authorities. Evidently, the transcription of the affair undertaken by Mr. Holmes's friend, Dr. Watson, gives another explanation entirely. But is he truly objective? We may allow ourselves a little doubt on that score. Oh, Farley.
Read the paper, Holmes.
Read the paper, Holmes. I'm gonna go in your room. Yeah! Why is your room brighter than mine? You are not a bright personality. You do not need this happiness.
This bust was used to fool Colonel Moran during the case of the empty house.
Moran. Sebastian. Okay. Alright, I'll leave. Ugh. I just wanted to look at your stuff. I feel like we're not as close anymore.
Holmes's homemade analyzer. I have found my book, Holmes.
Good.
Plop.
Put it on the work table, will you?
Here is the
Boop.
section showing Whitechapel. I made several notations on these pages during our investigation into the Ripper, which might prove useful. All we need to do is to find a hospital or a public dispensary near a location where pits have been dug and black granite has been used.
Word.
It's simplicity itself. I haven't finished my analysis.
I'm sorry. That's not my problem, Sherlock. Make the right deductions. Okay. The rope is worn. Only on one side. Rope was always used from the same side. The damp earth brought in by the Bishop of Knightsbridge's killers. The soil is from a pit, it's from a well, it's from a he said he thinks it's from a pit. Rope was used on the same side. Rope was used for tying up boats. Used in a well. The rope is used to lower something. Fragment of granite painted black. Fragment comes from a monument. Fragment is from a painted rock. A granite wall painted black. Wait. It's from a pit. Whitechapel Clinic. We don't know anything yet. Fragment of granite painted black. This fragment is from a painted rock. No. This fragment comes from a monument or from a granite wall. Soil is from a pit. The earth and the fragment of granite come from a building. Earth and stone are from a pit near a monument. Oh god, I don't know. From a cave. The earth and the rope and the fragment of granite come from a grave. From a building. Or a tombstone factory? Is that a thing? Lower something into a pit. The earth and rope and fragment of granite. Building undergoing repairs. Whitechapel Clinic. Is near a construction site? No, it's all red! Wait, let's look at this. Near a memorial. Near a cemetery. Near a large repairs site. Near Whitechapel warehouses. Near a tombstone.
I am missing some information.
Yeah, you are.
I am missing some information.
Okay, let's close that. Alright. Hope was always used in a well for tying up boats. I feel like... Oh, gosh, I don't know. I guess it could be a grave. Like if they're lowering in caskets. Soil's from a pit. Fragment comes from a painted rock. Oh goodness, wait, can I start over?
I haven't finished my analysis.
I know, but can I delete everything that I said so far? Ah, dang it, okay. Always used from the same side, okay, I feel like this is still true. Damp earth brought in. So it's from a pit. I still think that's true. Fragment of granite painted black. The only reason that I said painted rock is because maybe it's trying to say a tombstone. But I don't know, it could be a monument too. So it's from a pit. Pit near a monument. Is near a
now
grave.
I can make the right decision.
Ah, okay. This one?
The public dispensary number 4661. It's just opposite the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
Boom!
Watson. The murderer with the
totally
missing
knew
finger
that.
must
First
work
try.
in the
One take,
cemetery,
Willie.
or at least visit it. He could have taken a rope, one of the type they use to lower the coffins into the graves.
Yeah.
The granite is minute particles of tombstone.
Yeah.
And he only had to cross the road to steal a scalpel from the dispensary opposite.
Gosh, I wish that I could jump in this game.
We must analyze all our clues, Watson.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanna look
I
at
need
that.
something.
Oh, we're gonna use it? Oh, okay. Well, you need this.
I can analyze the chemical composition of a substance
Yeah.
here. No, it is unnecessary.
Oh, well, good. Fine. I'm glad you think that's unnecessary. I was thinking that it might be kind of important. Toby! Oh, where is is Toby, that rapscallion. Beep. What are we doing, Watson? Watson! Watson!
We must analyze all our clues, Watson.
Watson! Oh, I guess we're done with the thumb. So we just have dust, we have the granite, we have this thingy, the rope, scalpel that's now clean. Are we going somewhere? No, because we haven't apparently analyzed all of our clues.
No, it is unnecessary. No. I can analyze the chemical composition of a substance here.
Okay.
No. I
This
can
is the
analyze
only thing that I
chemical
have
composition of a substance here.
that would need to be analyzed like this.
I can analyze the chemical composition of a
I know!
substance
Do
here.
it! Oh, you are the worst. You just love to hear yourself talk. Sherlock! Sherlock! I don't know, maybe if I paid better attention to things.
I cannot leave now.
What do you need to do? Oh, deduction board? Is this what we're still doing? Are we still doing this, guys? Gosh. Finger. Okay. The bishop gnawed at himself. The bishop tore his aggressor's finger off with his teeth. Bishop went mad. Fought his aggressors savagely, I would say. Murderers tortured the bishop. Etc., etc. Okay. Well. Dude, guys, I don't know. Like, what else is there? Oh, there's this. To analyze the evidence, add liquid from the it's done. Come back. To analyze the evidence, add liquid from the test tube. Use all active agents to work out all of its characteristics. Okay. Alright. Meep. What does that mean? What does that mean? Wait. And blue, right? Oh, I'm out. Aw, oh, balls. Okay. Okay, so it's this and this. And... okay. This and this. Oh, wait, but it needs to be... oh, shoot. It's actual... wait,
I haven't finished my analysis.
I know. Can we start over? No! Reset. Reset everything. Okay. Alright. 2 greens. Alright, so it's 1, 1, 2, and a blue. Okay. Okay, we're doing okay now. Oh my gosh. 3 and 2. Alright. 1, 2, 3, and 2. Now, come here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Whew. Man, I almost botched up that whole operation. 1, 2, and 1, and then you come here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
Results of the analysis of the poison administered to the Bishop of Knightsbridge, a substance that provokes a heightened aggression close to madness, death by cardiac arrest.
Oh, that explains more.
Discreet, efficient, and only detectable via a thorough post-mortem.
Have you been
Why
able
would they
to
use a
isolate the
poison
active
that would make you
components?
insane?
Not with any certainty. This toxic substance surpasses my own knowledge in the field. It is without doubt the work of an expert chemist.
A chemist and a criminal.
As you say, please find my monograph on poisoners of the last 30 years.
People are gonna blame you. I see where all of this is going. Your monograph on poisoners? Where dat at? Where dat book at? Where dat book at? Is it in your room? Where dat book at? Where that book at? Where that book at? Where that book at? I like to think it's like the one that's open. Like, oh, I was just doing some light reading. This is the last thing I do for you, Holmes, before I have to go and hang out with the girls. I haven't seen them in forever. They say I spend too much time with you. Sentence life. Found guilty of the following charges: poisoning, attempted poisoning, theft and receiving chemical substances, murder and attempted murder, kidnapping with aggravated circumstances, cruelty to animals, hit and run, illegal use of chemicals, manipulation of the weak, drunk in charge. They had cruelty to animals charges back then. History and description of the individual. Despite numerous mental problems and neuroses, Hans Schielmann is an exceptional chemist and an equally remarkable mathematician. At the age of 21, his unstable and violent character resulted in his expulsion from the University of Vienna, where he had excelled in his chosen subjects. After being expelled, he was not heard of again for 4 years. He was captured and arrested in June 1864 during the case Blah, the Stuttgart poisoning, in which he was the principal suspect. He escaped before being sentenced and vanished again. A number of elements suggested that he had found refuge in London. An investigation undertaken by Scotland Yard found him living under the stolen identity of one Leonardo Itizia. However, the officers who came to arrest him were poisoned and he escaped once again. Our informers pick up his trail again in 1880 in an ancient factory converted into a clandestine chemical laboratory. Schielmann was absent during the search. From the documents found inside the laboratory, we learned that he had a diabolical plan in mind. His goal was to poison the drinking water reservoirs in several parts of the city. To this day, his motives remain unclear. His arrest on 5/5/1888 was due entirely to chance. He was recognized by a police officer while stumbling around in a state of inebriation, shouting of his intention to poison the entire city. None of the interrogations following his arrest have provided any conclusive information. Hans Schielmann broke his silence only with incoherent comments. Was he nuts? Hey, must be the money. I found your thing.
According to these documents, Hans Schielmann, known as the Rat Killer, was considered the greatest specialist in chemical poison in the world.
Is he at liberty?
Happily, no. He has been held in the high-security wing of London's Westgate prison for many years now.
Then he cannot be the one who concocted the poison.
Why did we just read all that?
According to Scotland Yard, the man is exceptionally intelligent. For the greatest criminals, prison is but a mere obstacle. Let's plan a little visit to see Mr. Schielmann tomorrow.
Where am I going? What am I doing?
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
Oh, okay. Deduction board is like my favorite. Poison. The flask contains poison. The bishop's fires aggressors savagely. Murderers tortured. And a poison that causes madness. Yeah. I'm assuming that since it's blue and not red, that means I didn't mess up anything. It's just... Yes? Did we do it?
Let us look at our deduction.
No! Did I not do it? I didn't do it. Ah! The murderers are vampires. It causes madness. We know this, right? We know this. Bishop drank the contents of the flask. Yeah. Okay, so we're changing things now.
Perfect. Well done, Watson. Our board is finished. It
Hell
confirms
yeah.
that the bishop's murderers
He
work
looks like
for
he's
one
looking
person,
up,
who,
like,
amongst other things,
spraying.
possesses a very sophisticated poison. They therefore act for someone more educated than themselves.
Wow, hater?
You remember Wiggins and his gang, the Baker Street Irregulars?
Yes, the street urchins, whom you employ upon occasion, and Wiggins is their leader.
Exposition!
Well, I have hired their services again. I have instructed them to find out the address of the bishop's nephew.
I think he's here.
What's up? You've
Yeah,
grown.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, my young friend, have you found the information for which the good Dr. Watson is going to pay you?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, it was easy.
Very well, I understand. Here are a few pennies.
Thanks, Dr. Watson. The man you're looking for lives near Kensington.
Does he live alone?
No,
yes,
no, kitty.
but he rents
We're
a room for
listening
an old lady.
to Wiggins.
Did she see you?
No, Mr. Holmes. No one saw me.
Perfect. Watson, give our young friend another shilling as a reward for his discretion.
Here we go again. But of course,
Watson, just slap Holmes once.
I'm
That's how you
falling
teach
asleep,
things.
Holmes.
You hit
Aren't you
them.
tired?
No, I have an exceptional constitution. I can't remember ever having been fatigued by work. Idleness, on the other hand, exhausts me completely. Go to bed, Watson. The night will be short. We leave at dawn.
I guess I'll just sashay.
Wow, this is a real
away.
adventure.
Oh,
it's
God.
exciting. I like it better than made-up stories. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading. I'm going to.
These kids are like such poor quality
I
compared
want to listen to
to the rest of the game.
My readers must excuse me if I do not describe in full detail here the terrible images which haunted me that night.
I had a sense that something extraordinary would take place, but I was scarcely prepared for the reality of it. Good morning, Holmes. Did you get any rest?
I did not attempt to sleep.
Have you managed to come to any conclusions?
I think that we might follow 3 trails. We can visit Whitechapel to try to discover the identity of the murderers by making inquiries at Dispensary 4661 and at the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
The poison trail seems more important to me.
No
We
one
should
cares.
perhaps go to Westgate Prison first to see Hans Schielman.
Yes, and let us not forget the bishop's irascible nephew, whose address we now have, thanks to my Baker Street irregulars. I have located each place on our map of London.
Holmes,
Do
let
we
me
have
remind
fast
you that
travel?
we still have not been officially instructed to investigate this affair.
Ah, well, we will just have to hide that small detail.
Oh. Sherlock. Oh. Oh, if I scroll, I can go through all of my items. I just wanted to look up your nose and at your face, that's all. Wait, let's do that thing that people totally do in Skyrim. And they're like, I just want to look at myself. I'm just gonna stand up against something. So that I can. Here we go. Oh. Okay. Welp. Watson.